Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are here with SDF Macross episode 29. Why don't you go ahead and regale us with what happened last time?
Episode 28. 2 years after the devastation of the Earth, the life goes on, basically. It slowly but surely recuperating as groups of humans that are survivors from the Macross and other places have congregated around, relics of the battle, like falling starships and the like. Min May is touring these towns, um, giving performances to, albeit very small, groups of people considering too well, and then she never actually had a huge following because she only had the Macross with 50,000 people or so at most. Um, and um, and Hikaru discovers that flowers are germinating beyond the green zone. Meanwhile, we have Misa both playing house for Hikaru, without being in a relationship with him, but also being her superior. Now she's a major. And we have what starts to be rebelling Centrati. They get into a fight at the very end of the episode, and now Commander in Chief of UN forces, Global, decides to segregate the Centrati from regular forces um, in order to prevent further, acts of violence, or at least access to weapons so they can carry out the violence.
So if it looked like I was typing there while you were giving the recap, I just wanted to answer. Sorry, I said had a flash of what show was it that did? We're here to ask and answer one simple question. What show did that?
In what?
You don't know. Anyway, the thing I keep bringing up of destroying all the plants on the surface of the Earth. Well, I was wrong about one thing, apparently. Oxygen levels. Earth's atmosphere apparently contains enough oxygen to support humans for more than a lifetime, even if you destroyed all the plants. However, the carbon dioxide effect of not having any plants left would cause a runaway greenhouse effect. And apparently, there's also the albedo effect to be concerned about. So, the greenhouse effect would raise the temperature. The albedo effect of having no plants to absorb sunlight would also raise the Earth's temperature as it would absorb more sunlight. So, these people, the whole dome thing I was arguing about, where they would run out of oxygen, apparently that's not a concern. Even without plants, we would still have oxygen to breathe. We would just be raising the carbon dioxide amount and we would turn into a Venus, I would assume.
I mean, eventually, the planet will be unlivable, and that also answers the question why the planet looks like a desert, as opposed to say nuclear winter, right? So you would have nuclear winter originally, but eventually,
Well, I
as it
mean,
as you know,
technically we should have nuclear winter because of all the shit thrown into the air because of all those explosions. Because they weren't shown to just be like, I don't know what example I was about to pull out of my ass here. They weren't like disintegrator beams, right? Everything they hit didn't just vaporize and vanish. We saw massive explosions, fireballs, the shit
yeah.
that does throw shit into the air.
Mhm. So, but eventually, all that particular matter would fall. But in 2 years, I think you still will have nuclear winter, and then eventually, if plant life doesn't come back, then you have the opposite, right? You have the runaway situation. Because one of the things also happens in nuclear winter is that the particulates reflect light out back into the space, and therefore blocks. Not only blocks direct light, it actually increases. The more snow and the more ice that you have, the more, and that actually would eventually accelerate desertification because a lot of the water would be locked in ice, so it wouldn't be raining where you need it to go. So yeah.
But the problem is that they didn't go that route.
Yeah, they
They
just
did,
went
they're not
straight to
going
desert.
any route. As a matter of fact, which is the problem that I have there.
I, I think they're going directly to desert, right? And also, I think this is supposed to be in Alaska, so it's very northern as well.
I don't. Well, two things. One, I don't think they're going the desert route. I think they're just showing craters and shit. So I think they're not going any route. They're just showing the devastation of the bombardment. and two, I don't know if they're in Alaska. Um, we haven't been shown a giant crater that would be the Grand Canyon. I think they're
Well,
just showing
the
their.
lake where the SDF-1 is at.
Why would that be anything? We
Remember
saw the
that?
SDF. Well, again, man, you're probably right. You're probably right because Hikaru was around the Grand Canyon when we watched the SDF come down. But the only reason I would think not would be that it could have come down anywhere, and they were flying at speed in any given direction away from the Grand Canyon when that happened. I don't know. I don't think it's the lake though. I think the lake has to be around the Grand Canyon somewhere if they are at nearest the Grand Canyon because we came out of that giant hole and there was no water and we flew away for a couple of minutes and then the Macross landed in a lake. So that can't be the Grand Canyon where the lake is.
No, I know. Actually, it landed in an empty space. We just saw it was an empty space, so maybe it filled it with water later on. Right?
Oh no, again, they flew away from it. And then the Macross came down somewhere in the direction they were flying towards. So, I mean, unless they flew around the entire globe and came back, it doesn't make sense. This is one of those tabletop questions. I would be stuck for the entire rest of the session. But we walked away from the dungeon. So how are we back? But yeah, no, like you said, we're in relationship territory again, and we already know that that's the part of the show you hate the most. So clearly, if we're solving all the relationship problems in the last, what, 7 episodes now,
Mhm.
then of course this is the part of the show you're gonna not like.
Mm.
But then again, to what I remember of what you said when we started this, you started liking the show mostly for the jet stuff,
Yeah.
right? And I think I'm more just about character-driven shit. Emotional
Yeah.
resonance is what I've always said drives me in these shows the most. Obviously, not getting a lot of that in because these are basically teenagers just wandering through their lives with no real understanding of their relationships to one another, except for maybe Genus
Hmm.
and Roy. And Roy's dead.
Yeah.
Roy knew what he wanted. He was going after it constantly, and then they killed him. So I lost that. Hikaru just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Genius is just, I don't know. Genius has got his whole story fucked up when they decided, hey, Mila's not tied to anyone. And then Heyo ain't around anymore either.
Oh.
Global ain't hooking up with anybody.
Mhm.
Which leaves us with what? The spies?
Mhm. And the breach bunnies, I suppose.
Yeah. Alright, so I think with that, we'll just go ahead and get into it then. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra. I would have guessed the show would start like this.
Okay, let's see if I see what you said last time about his helmet. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere near the beginning here.
Okay, he takes out his glasses. Yeah, they have built-in
Yeah, no, it's
sunshades.
not that. It's not. I want to say it's somewhere around where he's flying through the city, but I can't really remember. It took me 28 episodes to see it the first time. But there,
No, that's the cheek guard. The helmet has two pieces that come out like that.
I did not notice it before, so it's weird to notice
No,
it now.
he,
Also, no, because it's not the same as those little things there. That was
it
full
is
on.
that.
That was full on glass effect.
No, because it's from the side, so you're seeing it portrayed, and that's what it is. That's
No,
what
no,
the
no,
rest of the.
no, no. We're gonna watch this one more time before the day's over. And you're gonna see it's nowhere near those little bulbous things. It's like a full-on glass covering. They saved money by putting it down.
I mean, there is that when he seals the
They've substituted the mask for the face. It's not the bulbous things. You're gonna see it one more time, and then we're gonna have this argument one more time.
Okay.
地球統合軍とゼントラーディボドル機関艦隊との激しい戦いが終わっておよそ2年の歳月が流れた。
Now this is a very poignant moment, right? Because you see they're willing to show you that there's an aftermath, right? That there's you know, and what the Centrati, some of them fought and died for, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it makes the whole "was it worth it" thing for the Zentradi that stayed.
わずかに生き残った人々は絶望の中から立ち上がり、徐々にではあるが平穏な市民生活を送り始めようとしていた。
Also, I don't think Alaska is well known for its plateaus. However, then the question remains, how well do Japanese animators know the landscape of Alaska? Come on, man, we don't have a way to make new trucks.
おいやめろやめろうるせえほっといてくれこんなバカバカしいこともうやめたかもうこんなところ入り口なろおい撃てま
地球の生活に馴染めず生きる術がわからぬまま不満を抱いたゼントラーディ人が日に日
Did
に
it
増
just
え
like
続
run out
け
of
てい
my
た。
clones or something?
Oh, not everybody got Micronized.
Restaurant.
Yeah, same thing.
皆さんどうぞ
So the problem with Minmay that I have right now is that they're clearly walking across the wasteland, and she has so many changes of outfit. She must have so much luggage.
もう一度初めからお願いします。
遅くなりましたお忙しいところ
Oh,
わざわざお
Claudia's
呼び
here.
立てして恐縮ですあまり
I think one of the guys around Fulmo was our old alien scientist
一応我々
guy.
スタッフで結論を出しましたのではいひどい出来だったね
ごめんね。
こんなことじゃ明日のチャリティーコンサート心配だな
明日はしっかり歌うわ。今日はお客さんがあんまり少なかったんで。
It's also hard to believe that you had to rebuild civilization, but you got enough time to still have lounges and whatnot.
もっと安くしてあげればよかったんじゃない？
金のあるやつからはもらえばいいさ
でも、
その分恵まれない連中に分けてあげているんだからな明日のチャリティーコンサートだって売り上げの大半は寄付するんだ
ねえ、いっそのこと全部寄付しちゃったら？
これだからな僕らプロなんだ歌ってお金をもらうことは当たり前のこと
You
なんだ
started one
お
movie.
金なら十分なほどあるじゃない。
夢の実現までにはまだ足りないさ
What dreams?
大きなコンサートホールを二人で建てようって約束したじゃないかさ
There we go.
Yeah,
What-
you remember that episode, right?
ケーキ漬けに何かうまいものでも食べ
Of the 4 dream episodes we've had, that was not one of them.
何のために歌ってるんだかわからなくなってきちゃった。
バカなこと言ってるなよ。車は裏口に回すから。
I guess they do have a car.
All right. Seemed to heavily be implied when they were arguing in the desert last time that they didn't. Oh, we just leave the door open. Why not? You're bad guests.
何が食べたい？
私ニャンニャンに行ってみたい。
親父たちの店に。
巡業続きで少しも帰ってないんだもん。
How's your dad alive?
俺は行かないよ。
Bro, remember his
Oh, right.
father
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in the
yeah. No, I
Macross,
got it.
yeah.
I got it. I remember now. They were in a weird juxtaposition that her family was on where he was, and
ごめんなさい。だけど私一人でも行くわ。
行くってどうやって？
なんとかするわ。明日のコンサートには必ず間に合うように帰ってくる。
well, you know, asshole, I am the one that makes the money around here.
ただし町の入り口までだよ。
海部兄さん。
But last time she was like, "Oh, we're gonna walk. You're gonna walk back to the Macross City," and they kind of broke up. But now they're together again. I guess I don't know. This extremely codependent relationship that they have is also bad.
Well, I think we're back into the winging it. Like, we knew what our goal was. We got there way too fast. Now we're winging it again.
やはり
Yeah.
地球人と我々はプロトカルチャーの子孫であることにほぼ間違いありません。そうですか。
I've been reading the DNA, and it looks like it used to be birds or fish. It's hard to tell.
部分が次々と見出されました。その中でもとりわけ共通指数の高いものがあります。
Which trait is it?
共に好んで戦争をするという点です。
それは違うと思います。
I'm sorry, can that be in your DNA?
いや、少なくとも地球の人間は好んで戦争しているわけではありません。襲いかかる敵から身を守るためにいやおうなく戦いを。
それは理屈だ。宇宙からの侵略がある以前
Pretty sure that is our old scientist guy.
地球人同士の戦争が絶え間なく続けられてきたではないか。常に地球では
There we go. It's the eyes. I knew it was him.
地球人は明らかに好戦的な種族なんだ。
それはデータや数字だけによるこじつけだと思います。
数字は嘘をつかない。
It would be perfect for me in a future series if he shows up as a third alien race and it's him.
はい。とにかくほとんど同じ種族がどのような経過を経て地球とゼントラーディ人のように分かれていったか、それが今後の研究課題になると思いますな。
確かにな。今後の我々の生活の仕方いかんではどのような未来が築かれていくか。
What was more serious now?
どんなことがあったって
Less comedic.
地球人はゼントラーディ人のようになんかなるもんか。
Well, he's the commander in chief now, right? So he's gone into.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the guy in the Battlestar Galactica.
いいね。
He's got a Dama mode.
してくれたわね。仕事今日はいいの？
町会長さん、お仕事どう？
ああ、おかげさんで儲かってますぜ。おかえりな。
おじさん、今夜一晩お世話になりに来ちゃった。
何言うてるな。ここはな、民名のうちな。
ありがとう。
嬉しいやないかいな。有名人になっても民名ちゃんは昔とちっとも変わらんな。
本当ね。
ああ、その通りな。
やだ、それじゃあ私がちっとも成長してないみたいじゃないの。
そういうことになるかいな。
Well, now she's 18, I guess. 17, 18.
We got a comment about that before, but I didn't want to read it because it also includes her ages in the movies and whatnot. So, gonna wait on that one. Also, isn't this like the third time they've rebuilt this place?
Yep. Pretty much. I think there's a Japanese aspect of it is that they maintain the spirit of the building rather than the building itself. It doesn't really matter if the building is destroyed as long as it's rebuilt in a way that represents what it stands for.
光る。
Wow, they even recreated the crack in the wall. So when he crashed into the building, which kind of doesn't really make any sense, but
Yeah, no, because he destroys the entire fucking wall. And then when they rebuilt it back on the Macross, they didn't include that either. So. But then again, this is like back on Earth, right? So. She's not in the Macross right now. She's like at the original or the rebuilt new one.
It actually looks more like a patch.
いるかい
光なの
ミンメ今日はごめん
仕方ないわよ光は軍人なんだもん
それで君の誕生日のプレゼントなんだけ
The
ど
sepia tones.
これ
It's weird that this game show actually doesn't do more sepia tones, especially at the end of the episodes, right?
これ本当にくれるの
I don't know. We've done flashbacks before without the sepia tone, so.
Yeah.
ミンメ
I guess post-war, it's just like another world or something.
Ah, Minmay, what could it been?
Maybe you didn't fall in love with your own cousin.
Eh,
おはようリンミンメイだ
Okay, for a second I thought, like, that's not Yoshido, right? Yoshio, whatever the fuck
No.
his name was. Well, we haven't seen him in forever, and it's been a couple of years. He was a little kid, you know,
yeah, he probably grown up, yeah.
a little bit at least.
Well, at least Hikaru's keeping in shape.
おいロリ手伝ってくれ
Oh, they are the...
おいニュース
どうした今度
Yeah, this
he
guy.
got glasses.
ちゃんがニャンニャンに帰って
Well, he's always had a face that looked old,
あ
so.
あ町会長さんとこで聞いたんだ
だってミンメイちゃん今日はストーンシティでコンサートのはずだろ
朝早く立てば十分間に合うさ
ちくしょう知ってればニャンニャンへ飯食いに行ったのになこいつにはプライベートスケジュールは書いてないもんな
Yeah, the whole... Remember you had the fans that were hardcore fans? Yeah, he has his private...
I mean, to be fair, he went against his entire society just for her, so.
ミンメイちゃんえ
God, man, this guy.
ミンメイちゃん
I'm just thinking of the bridge bunny that wound up with him.
サインして
Everyone else looks like normal age, but one of them wound up with a grandpa.
会社いいだろうよし俺もちょっと俺だよ俺だったのはあそんな無茶したらかなんなあんただったら黙って行かせてくれそんなこと言うたかって
You leave us alone. You're attacking us.
セントラー D 人が急に暴れ出しまして食料やら何やら無理やり奪っていこうとしてるんです
こいつどこに連絡してたんだああお前
I don't know. Like, did the whole fleet go or something?
こんなに早く
What do you mean I don't...
なんだか心配
Like,
で
is there nothing left of Britai's fleet?
街の中
I don't know.
あら
We
All
haven't
we've
seen
seen is a
anything.
couple of crashed ships. We haven't seen
パトロール部隊の方に
anything of
勤めてると
space.
つい取り越し苦労しちゃうまジョギングを兼ねてるんだけどね
この頃の街なんとはなしに不穏な感じだもの
うん
I just mean the fleet had all the Myclone stuff and everything. So,
ああ少佐の写真整理してアルバムに貼ったよ
そう
誤解しないでほしいけどみんな
どうしたの
待ってくれ
can't make too much progress in one episode.
Yeah. And the violence.
That's the head shop.
うるせえ
Yeah.
やめろやめないかいかちゃんどうしたんですか？
いや、それがな、俺もう仕事に飽きた。不満があるなら聞く言うてまっしゃないかいな。話すこと何もない。
Yeah, I said my piece. I'm tired of his work.
抵抗するぞ。射殺するぞ。
待て団注意
一条隊。
奴ら武器を持っていない。
Yeah, but they are also giants at the same time.
君たちが住みにくいことは百も承知だ。不満は軍政府が聞こう。
おいお前ら、本当に俺たちのこと考えてくれてるのなら、今すぐゼントラー D の部隊に返してくれ。
それは
俺、戦争がしたいんだ。できるのかよ。どうなんだ。はっきりしろよ。できるのかよ。戦争させてくれよ。おい、なんとか言ってみろ。
ゼントラー D 人が地球を襲わないという保証はない。今は無理だ。
できないんだったらおためごかしに話し合おうなんて言うんじゃねえ。
I mean, this seems like it'd be pretty simple to resolve
撃ち方よい。
without having to pull out mechs and whatnot.
やめろ撃つんじゃない。
Oh, you made him feel bad.
お前ら後悔するぞ。一度は文化を素晴らしいと思ってきたんじゃないか。林民名の歌に感動してきたんじゃないか。なぜ頑張らんのだ。
But what has she done for me lately?
今日まで努力してきたんじゃないか。これからじゃないか。
After 2 years, you gotta realize it's just the same 5 songs.
生活に馴染めないゼントラー
It's
D
a
人は
LAN party.
これからも増えるな。
飛び出してこれからどうなるのかしら。
上で死ぬか、あるいは人のものを強奪するか、どっちかやろうな。
No, but seriously though, all they want to do is fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simulate it.
Where? How?
The world's a giant fucking desert. What do you mean, where? Give them 2 like opposing camps, dress one up in red, put the other in blue, put them in a gulch somewhere, let them fight it out.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. All they want, like, make a giant laser tag thing. I don't care. All they want to do is fight. Let them fight.
文化なんてもんにみんな浮かれやがった。どうせ一時的な熱狂に過ぎねえ。そう俺は思ってたんだ。
その通りで。
やれる。このままでいけば今に地球の
Ran
奴
out
ら
of
を
resources to keep your uniforms fit, huh?
ああ、その通りだ。おい野郎ども、町のあぶれた連中をみんな連れてこい。もうこそこそすることはねえ。おっぴらに動き回れ。マイクローンになった奴らには教えてやれ。このカブ人様のところに来れば必ず元通りにしてやるとな。
So yeah, they still have facilities. That makes me wonder, though. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
I was gonna ask because I thought he flew off somewhere, but he
Yeah.
must have
No, but-
landed on the North Pole or something, I guess.
Yeah, but he did say that in the battle, there's a little brief moment when he says, "He's gonna come back."
Yeah, I didn't remember that. I thought he flew off and just was never gonna come back again. But no, just had the thought in my head: well, can you get reverse mycloned into another body that's not yours? Like, that's not my body. Well, do you want a giant body or do you not want a giant body?
ミンメイちゃんが来ましたよ。
遅いじゃないか。
ごめんなさい。
客が思ったより少なくてな。
I've seen things.
そう。
Those glass eyes,
お客さんの
the
数なんて
100
関係ないわ。
mile distance stare.
私
I mean, they're all war
もう一度対話
survivors.
してみたいの。
To be fair, they were before the space war too.
Yeah.
私の
Yeah. But I think in a way she was spared of all that. The war happened on Earth, but not everywhere was a war zone, right? So you had civilians.
I just mean we went through like World War III, and then Space War, and then
One, yeah.
これから話すことは極秘の計画だ。外部には漏らさんでほしい。
イエスさん。
昨夜ついにゼントラーディの自動宇宙船製造工場衛星を発見しました。この衛星には全て自動で宇宙戦艦を建造する機能があります。
found it where? What?
そのシステムを君たちの手で奪い取ってきてほしいのだ。ゼントラーディ軍がいつまた攻めてくるやもしれん。防衛のためには少しでも多くの戦艦を確保せねばならんのだ。分かってほしい。
Well, this is a storyline we could have had 2 episodes running now. Well, imagine instead of the relationship that you clearly hated, if we were following like a whole scout mission thing
Yeah.
to find this place.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's what I meant, that this is a post-story story, right? This is the aftermath story. And those are very difficult to pull off. Because there's a certain cadence to storytelling. And once you reach that point, it's like, okay, we're done. Give me another story. They'll give you more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't in disagreement on that. I said at the end of episode 27 that they should have just sunset and then pitched another show.
Mhm.
Well, at least they're giving poignance to the whole "I Die Rot Away" line from that song that I made fun of when I first heard it. Not a lot of love songs you hear with "rot away" in them.
In Spanish, yes, you do find a lot of older songs that have that kind of theme. Like, oh no, love is dead. And
Yeah, my favorite love songs all include "Love is Dead" in them.
ゼントラーディ軍の自動工場衛星を奪取する遠征に出発した。
Where?
マックスとミリアは
Did they bring it with them for the attack?
まだ幼い一人娘マリアを連れてきていたのである。次回
Or did they say they brought the baby daughter along?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. Like, they don't have... I guess the Centrati ships have folds things still. Because it's entirely possible, I guess, my question before, where's Britai's fleet? That they could have been scouting. And then we're going to use his Centrati ship to fold somewhere to go steal it and bring it back. But how are we going to bring it back? Because I will be very angry. Not angry, I'll just be heavily disappointed if this thing is just floating in our solar system somewhere. It's like, it's going to be why? Why would it be here?
I don't think it is.
But yeah, I think it would have been more interesting to leave it as a question, what happened to Earth, and just start episode 28 onwards as part of the scouting mission.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, we're on board this Centrati ship and we're folding from place to place, trying to find a resource that we need to secure our defenses or whatever, something.
Yeah.
And then leave it to a big reveal at the very end to see maybe the recovering Earth. That way it's not all these questions that I've been having the last 2 episodes don't even come into play. Then it's just a time skip.
I mean, there is a time skip, but it doesn't feel like a time skip because it's,
Well, no. I mean, that if you just pulled the whole scout mission, recovery of resource thing, then you just do a much bigger time skip. Instead of 2 years, we've been doing this for 10 years now. Everything is kind of resolved relationship-wise and fixing the Earth bit and everything like that. This is what we've been doing for the last 10 years. I don't know. It would still feel like a cutoff from the show, right? But, it would feel like a cutoff, but they gave us a budget, so we did it. A Legend of the Rangers B5 sort of scenario.
Yeah, that went nowhere.
Well, it was
No, that it,
it was
it
their
wasn't that good.
shot. It was their shot to come
Yeah.
back, and it didn't. So
Yeah. After Crusade, which didn't even last a season, so
I mean, they made a B5 movie just last year, so clearly there's still a desire, and they're talking about a reboot.
which is actually animated. It was animated. I liked it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I'm watching people react to B5, so I'm just slowly watching with them, and when they reach it, I'll watch it for the first time. So years from now. Yeah. I don't know. Post end of war. This is the better of the two episodes.
Yeah.
But I think it's only saved by the whole mid-May doll dead Zentradi warrior thing. Because it does leave that taste in your mouth of what were we fighting for. Because clearly this person died with that thought on their mind since they were gripping the mid-May doll box versus these I don't want to work anymore sentiment Zentradi. But like I said, you could set up a laser tag building or something. Well, I mean, all they want to do is fight. Well, they said we want to fight a
Yeah.
war. Well, set them up to fight one another in a non-lethal way or something. Because clearly they also don't want to die. When you point the guns at them, they shy away. So they want to fight without dying. So they want simulated. Set them up with a computer game. All the shit teenagers do today, Lisa and Trotty, I feel like, could just be set up with. Laser tag doesn't exist yet, does it? It just occurred
No.
to me that it was like the 80s that even the cartoon Laser Tag Academy comes out. Although they do have lasers literally in the world right now, so
No, but I think already the military, the United States military at least had their, I forgot the term, it's Miles system,
I mean,
where
well,
you have laser. Yeah.
we're jumping ahead for no good reason. Set them up with a paintball gun course. They could have simulated fights. There's no reason, because it seems like that would be the clear and simple solution to the whole problem. Let them fight, but they don't have to kill each other. They don't have to destroy anything. Just like
Okay. Miles came out it started testing 1978, 79.
which is still ahead of the future for this show.
Yeah.
Like I
So
said,
it could have been. Yeah.
2 bases, Box Canyon. That's all we solve the solution. I mean, we've just shown that the pilot dude is still on Earth, so and he's promising to reverse Myclone people. So evidently he has that power. But that's what I'm saying is obviously he wouldn't have everybody's giant body. So the can you reverse Myclone somebody into a just strange random body?
I don't think it's just they actually create the bodies.
Well, no, I
That's the
don't know.
process.
My thought here is the Breetais fleet. We saw giant body in like suspended animation, tiny little Myclone underneath them, and I could see what you're saying if they're like, oh yeah, you put yourself in there and then they reform. But the ones we saw on those ships were already in the forms of the people that were going to be taken. So it seems like they already have the figures there. But I guess if you're already changing your bodies around, you don't have that problem of like, I don't know. Did you ever watch Log Horizon, the anime?
No.
Oh, it's one where people get isekai'd into an MMO, or the MMO world becomes real, or something like that. So some of the people have a problem with their avatars not fitting like their real bodies. Like, oh, I'm much shorter than this in real life, so I kind of feel like I'm walking upstairs constantly. In real life I'm a woman, but I don't have a guy's body. That sort of thing. That these people could get reverse Mycloned into bodies that are weird and abnormal for them, but the fact that they've already gone from giant to regular person to giant again wouldn't. I guess they wouldn't have that concern or problem.
No.
I'm just exploring the space, trying to live in the world.
No, I'm trying to make sense of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really weird
I mean, I
world.
think it also seems that they only turn Myclones those who wanted to be turned into Myclones, right? Right. Not everybody wanted, so they kept,
Yeah.
the full
Well,
size.
I mean, it's a
So
weird situation there because we already know that giants can't exist on Earth. These people would be collapsing under the weight of their own bodies. All right. Well, any other final thoughts about this episode?
it was okay episode, right? I do like the vibe that it's like, listen, this actions have consequences, right? This is not just simply, oh, we destroyed the earth. It happens. It's like, no, I mean, there's a reason why. And I also like the storyline of the Centrati. Some of them become disgruntled, right? Because they joined the fight because of the culture shock and because they were threatened to be annihilated by Bedolza. But after a while, it's like, is that it, right? Oh, this is supposed to be great and wonderful and different, and it's like, is it really? I'm just working on a factory, you know.
Yeah, they literally saw the best. Like they saw a utopia. They didn't see everything that was needed to create it.
And also, I think they didn't understand it either, right? It was just a culture shock. Oh, this my life could be different, but they couldn't understand how different it was, or if it wasn't even, fulfilling as a life, right? Which is something that basically the Japanese stories kind of avoid, but also fall into the you were already born to be this kind of situation. So it's like, yes, and try to kind of fall into that a little bit, right? That, well, you were born to fight, so you're going to fight. But there's also the idea that no, people can be different because that one other centurion said, hey, you work so hard to do this. You're going to give up now, right?
I mean, there's
Remember why?
another element of living in the world, I guess, is that we
Mhm.
don't know what the daily life of a Centrati warrior is. Like, we don't see them doing anything other than when they launch out to fight us during the whole beginning section of the show.
Yeah.
And we clearly know that they don't fix their ships, they don't have that ability. So there doesn't seem to be much in the way of the working class of Centrati.
hmm Yeah.
So it could just be that they, eat, sleep, fight. That's all they do.
Yeah. Yeah. They
And
stand around
now
until the.
and now they're on Earth working, which they've never done before. And I think anybody who's ever worked before knows that's not fun.
No.
So literally, you go from this Viking culture, to this, I don't know, very Japanese culture of
hmm
working.
Yep.
So yeah, I can entirely see where they would become disgruntled really quickly. I came for the music and the food and living with women, you know. And now you're telling me I gotta work 9 to 5 every day, and apparently the steel factory.
I mean, they're also making kind of circuit boards as well. I guess
Well, that
that's
was
what
the
they were doing.
Myclone ones. I'm talking about the guy
Yeah.
who just kicking cars and he kicks over the steel girders and
hmm
everything. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they've got all their manufacturing all in one spot.
Probably. Um, and also, I think there seems to be like the standards of living if you're a my clone versus the standards of living of being a Centrati seem to be different,
Well, they have to be.
right?
Where
Yeah.
do you shelter a giant centrati?
Yeah. So
In our
that might
pan
also,
back of all of the cities and everything, there's
yeah.
never anywhere big enough to hold any giant centrati. It's all human-sized construction,
Yeah.
which means that not only are the giant centrati upset with their living, like the whole culture thing, they've got to be kind of upset that they're building places for small humans to live and just sitting out in the element.
Or some tent or some warehouse or something, right? They
Like I
just
said,
build
we
a
don't see
warehouse.
it.
Yeah.
The Zentradi tent situation would be like next to the skyscrapers, and we don't see those when we pan across.
Yeah. But again, I like the idea that not all the Centrati are, oh, we're gonna go back to fighting, right? It's a small group of people that are disgruntled, but of course they're giants built for war, so that's a danger on the nonetheless, right? So it's not like it'd been too easy to have, oh, the Myclones are for peace and the Centrati are for war, right? It kept that line going. Having the Centrati talk to each other, and also Exodal saying, the data is the data, then both humans and Centrati have a history of violence, right? Um, it's an important point. It kind of brings the idea, yeah, this series is about war is bad.
Well,
Sure,
I
we have
mean,
cool mechs and all that, but yeah, war is still bad.
I mean,
Right?
to your point that it's only a few, we see that it's only a few in the last 2 episodes, and then Quamsim, or whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
shows up, and you see it's more than a few, and he's
Uh,
organizing all the few that we saw into his larger force of them.
Yeah, but considering the overall numbers of Centrali that could have been out there, right? I mean, even Bedolsa's fort was like 1,200 ships, so it's a couple hundred of Centrali per ship. Could be tens of thousands of Centrali, right? Or
Well, I mean,
more.
you're also got to figure the scale of how many Zentradi equals one, or
Yeah,
how many humans equals one Zentradi when it comes to anything.
yeah.
And the fact that they still have all their military units, like the battle pals or whatever they're called, are still
Yeah.
out there. We don't even know if Quamsim's ship is still operational because it's frozen under ice apparently. But I don't know. Those things were apparently built to last.
Well, if you can repair them, then either you build them very cheaply so you can pump them out very quickly, or you build them to last so that they can take a lot of damage and keep going.
Well, I mean, they're
Right?
the Tonka trucks of spaceships.
Yeah.
I just mean that
Or
they can have giant holes blasted in the side of them, and the innards not working, and they're still flying through space, firing off laser beams and whatnot.
Or simply is whatever whatever the plot demands. The ship will blow up in an instant because that's what we demanded, or it will outlast because it's a hero ship, or we need it for another shot or something.
All right, I think that's enough for this episode. Once again, I am Theta. This is Lessons, and we will catch you next time. Bye bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?